I know what you're all thinking. My shirt is nice. I know, right? Thank you. But let's thank that lady who pressed it for me in the shop from which I picked it from. I just had to go there because PDS had done their thing again. Oh, you are. I said it. It's the same thing that happened to me last night. Let me fix this out. Let me sort it out. And a minute. And then, yeah. I know many of you have not seen this before. Some actually, yeah. Good. We sorted. Excellent. Okay, good. So, yeah. As much as I felt very thankful to the lady, it was a heartfelt Thanksgiving service to the lady, but she didn't seem too impressed. I think she wanted me to tip her. I could feel it, but she should know that today is 20-something, and boys are actually like something. Also, let me thank the Okada rider who made sure I didn't get to work later. I was already more than late. It felt good when they actually mentioned my name just the way I say it, Caleb Kuda, because they, like you and I, love BackPage. The only problem is because of the funds they gave me, I couldn't send it, so we couldn't haggle, you understand, over the price. But hey, here we are again, thankful for life as always. I hope you've been kind to yourself as I have tried to. You know, like you, this week has been hard catching up with the news. Some of the stories were absolutely heartbreaking. Others were fantastically heartwarming. Shout out to Nathan Call. He doesn't seem to be able to say anything without those words. Mr. Kwao, respect to you. Now, some of the other stories there, you didn't even know what to make of them. They are nothing but beautiful problems of Ghana. This week on our new satirical show, BackPage on City TV, we bring you all of that. So welcome back to BackPage on City TV, your new satirical show. My name is Caleb Kuda. Quick story to set this week's stories in perspective. So a young boy asks his father what he should do to become a politician. Politicians are drawn from society to lead the rest of the people. To sprout from the people, you must be outstanding, outsmarting, and most importantly, out-talking. Deep and inspiring response, the boy thought. But something troubled him. Anytime he visited his uncle and they watched the news together, his uncle almost always go like, you, this politician, looking into the TV, you are a liar, you are such a liar. So now the little boy is confused whether or not he should be an outlier to be a politician. I don't know what you think, but I think that this little boy can start off with Malcolm Gladwell's Outlier. Beautiful piece. Now watch this.
As at the time City News got to the plant, a team of investigators from the crime scene department of the Ghana Police Service were at the scene assessing the situation. The bolts and nuts that held the tower were hacked from its stand, compelling the tower to fall on another tower on the opposite side. A hacksaw was seen at the site, although it is unclear that was what might have been used in the hacking of the tower. The director of systems operations at Gridco, Mark Ban, in an interview with City News, noted that the collapsed tower is an important transmission line which takes power from the Volta and Smelter substations within the industrial area.
The shock of this story is still fresh for many of us, but here is what Energy Minister says.
You can see it. It's a sabotage. How can a civilized person do this to his or her country? I mean, this is uncalled for.
You see, in response to Mr. Meudo, some people have suggested an outlier syndrome. I disagree. In this country, some citizens pose as though they are servicing street lights. Before you know it, an entire motorway is stripped of its own lit night. Now, some even go to the extent of stealing live electricity cables on the pole. So the sabotage angle, no dear, it's not a Kokwanasi story at all, like some people want us to believe it. It is possible, just that people are asking which thief and or saboteur will be bold enough to do this, especially near the headquarters of Gridco itself, if he or she isn't close enough or even within the setup itself. Anyway, the best part of the story is that Ghana's most efficient public service, the most efficient public service, we're saying, only second to PDS, the Ghana Police Service, are investigating the matter. We will update you on this story in 2069 when experts project the findings of this report or investigation would finally be ready. To some other stories. Hooray! After nearly 20 years, Ghana has finally passed the Right to Information Bill.
That the Right to Information Bill be now read the third time. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
Actually, some people say the Information Minister will certainly add this to his CV. Right to Information Bill was finally passed into law under my able watchmanship as Minister of Information. Well, there's a lot of talk about how this will increase access to information by the press and the everyday citizen. This excitement is not new. It was even more intense when citizen vigilante Martin Amidu was announced as a special prosecutor without an office at the time, and maybe still not proper office. Already, there are so many hurdles ahead, but I agree that we shouldn't let perfect impede good. It's a good start. Now, the concern among some event organizers is that the media coalition for the passage of right to information, they must now ensure that journalists make the dissemination of credible information accessible to the public quickly as well. Their point is this: even when they use their buses to pick up journalists to their events and drop them off at their offices, they still have to solidarize, which for them impedes information dissemination. So they want the coalition to do something about it. Now remember that last week we shared the story of New Zealand's Prime Minister's response to the Christchurch shooting and called on African leaders to learn some. Some people say it is why Parliament is learning some. But instead, it has focused this time on the victims of the examples we used for the show, Mozambique, Malawi, and Zimbabwe, without observing a minute's silence for the Kintampo victims.
70 of your countrymen and women perish. The House of Parliament, which is an embodiment of all the people of Ghana, and we can't spend a minute to say a prayer for those who have perished and those who are injured. So the anger of the public is righteous indignation.
But the Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, has not been a happy speaker over such a reportage.
It has come to my attention that some members of the public have wondered why there was no statement on this tragedy yesterday in this honorable house at a time when we had talked about some tragedies elsewhere. The honorable member who had already filed a statement had to be outside the house because of what had occurred in her constituency. And the leadership were agreeable that she must be the appropriate person to lead the statement on this in this honorable house.
I agree with the Speaker. Procedural matters in Parliament are very important. Now, eventually, the MP for the area showed up and made a statement.
Mr. Speaker, we in the minority believe that this particular accident is a national tragedy and government must treat it as such by holding a national memorial service across the entire country for the victims of the accident and also declaring at least 3 days of national mourning for the victims.
It's high time we listen to the Queen, who says we should stop doing PhD DDs. Now, the accident is unfortunate, like the MP and the families, our hearts are broken. But is there a better way to commiserate with the dead than preventing what killed them from killing those they left behind? People, a moment of silence, please.
Every weekday at 8 p.m., City Newsroom brings you analysis of the major news stories of the day. In-depth, comprehensive, and researched. It's 1 hour of local and international news from 8 to 9 p.m. It's the City Newsroom. Weekdays on City TV.
Yeah, welcome back, people. A couple of stories came up this week, and I've been struggling with how to tell them to you. So I've decided to name them Beautiful Problems. What comes to your mind when you hear beautiful problems? See if what my colleague Na Shikasiza found at South Odoko came to mind.
Residents of Odoko in the Ablekuma North municipality of the Greater Accra region have been battling with bad roads for so many years now. After years of numerous complaints, government finally heeded their call and awarded a contract for the construction of the road. But the fixing of the road, which should have been a joyous thing for residents, has rather become a problem. Residents bemoan the fact that the contractor of the road, who is also a former member of parliament for the area, Joe Apia, for several months now, dumped heaps of sand and stones meant for the construction in the middle of the road. The resultant effect is that it is impeding residents from driving to and fro their homes. Some residents who claimed they went to make enquiries say the former MP could not tell them when the project will be completed. For now, the sand and stones sit on the road, while pedestrians, including school children, struggle to meander through.
What a problem. Now, the former MP, now turned a contractor, decided to surprise you with a road and you say you don't like it? You prefer the old untarred road to the ultra-modern heaps of sand and gravels? Listen to some of the residents.
Sometimes 8, 9 before I get home, and it's scared. It's scared. Especially if you are a lady, you are having a bag, holding things. It's terrible.
Charlie, it's scared. It's very, very scared. Imagine your wife or your mom is in labor or there is fire outbreak and things like this happen. You know, Ghana is such a blessed country. Oh, there be that. We have beautiful problems. A former lawmaker engaged in such lawlessness. This is scared. But chances are nothing will happen to him. South Odoko for South Odoko for Yamamu shedding. But you see, the beautiful problems abound. Like this one as narrated by my colleague Philip Niilate.
2 weeks ago, a 39-year-old employee of the Power Distribution Service, PDS, Ghana Limited, was assaulted by a resident of Kokrobite in the Greater Accra region while he was in the area merely to restore power to the area. Gershon Esiedu was reported to have had his face slashed with a cutlass by an angry resident who is currently on the run. The victim has since been referred to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, where he underwent a successful surgery and received medical attention.
So basically, it means that some of the doom we have been experiencing could be linked to other things besides the technical whatever we've been hearing. You inflict cutlass wounds on a PDS staff in his area of jurisdiction and you expect power? Look, this is so wrong. Now, from the way things are getting personal, it means if a PDS staff in the control room is dating a guy in your area and they have an argument, it could affect everyone in the neighborhood. Anyway, because if they are fighting, then he would take the light off to punish his girlfriend or her boyfriend or his girlfriend, and you all are affected. Anyway, good thing is, after this report, Kokrobite people have light. Next time, when you see a PDS staff, you offer him or her water and not cutlass wounds. But actually, there are more beautiful problems. Yeah, but this particular one is pretty troubling in Jamestown.
You know what? Oh, yeah, school.
Yeah, school.
Mamba.
School on.
Mamba get school on.
In Lenin, she school on.
Me level she.
From what?
No pa. No pa. Oh, mami ko papa mi na me yeye.
I mean, can school can ya?
Do you tell him to go to school?
Always.
And what has he been saying?
He will say school is not his talent. Like this boy, he started doing mates. When he started doing the mates, he will tell you that 1 year that he will go to school to be promoted, we use it do mates, sec. That 1 year, he can use that 1 year to buy a car and be his own boss.
My goodness, did you see the shock on the face of my colleague Philip Nealate? I mean, you couldn't believe it. All a bit. The guy says he's more talented. I mean, he's too talented to be in school. It's really an unfortunate narrative. This is really a beautifully troubling problem that we have. There was this other lady who also, already at 16, she had at 17, she has a year-old child, though he's dependent on his grandmother. And the other says she has quit school because she had issues with the headmistress. If we all will quit because of issues we had, AYA, we have a lot of issues to deal with. Yeah, so that was with that in Jamestown. But there's another beautiful problem we have with a discussion on Okada business and the idea to review it. It's quite interesting. So Okada riders, they are like side chicks. They are great at everything that the main chick now sucks at. They offer immediate convenience. They are wild and they are risky. And they give you everything and you actually want them in the dark. But these days, the Okada riders say they want to meet the main chick and they want the rest of the extended family to also see them and acknowledge them for their remarkable roles they've been playing. One of them was actually on the point of view with a policeman in an interview with Bernard Kokwa. While we were watching, scared the policeman will arrest him after the show, he was busy giving shout-outs to his people.
How did you enter this business?
Before I go on, thank you for having me on the show. And my regards to my parents and then the viewers and everybody and my co-riders.
Your co-riders, they are watching you?
Yeah, they are really watching me. And before I entered into this business, I was into building construction. I was a mason.
So the question is Ghana ready to show this convenient but risky side chick to the main chick? Well, this is a question for the gods, but I guess the gods are as confused. This is what they probably will say.
I had a motto at my car, behind the car of my motto. I had a motto at my car, behind the car of my motto.
Interesting conversations there, interesting developments. Yeah. The car behind my bike, the bike behind my... People actually were expecting Paul Adum Ochery, legendary journalist, historian par excellence. People were expecting him to do another rebuttal to Kofi Abochi because Abochi had fired some arsenals and missiles at him. That didn't happen, sadly. But at least there is something we can learn from him, rebuttals. We'll take a break, and when we return, I have some rebuttals for someone important in a car. right, so welcome back. There was a conversation that was published online, and it has to do with the mayor of Accra. I was listening to the BBC before I go to the mayor. I was listening to the BBC, and they said the mayor of London. So I was okay when I said the mayor of Accra. She said I said the mayor of Accra. It's funny how the English language is evolving. We have always known mayor. Now they say the mayor of Accra. Right, so let me go straight to the point. I think you remember in our last episode or two, we talked about how the Cleaner City campaign by the president is one of the most important things the president has said, and that we don't feel that that drive is being carried out. Well, the mayor of Accra, he granted an interview to Star FM, and he said that the countries in Africa that we compare Accra to be cleaner than Accra are that clean because of totalitarianism or authoritarianism. Basically, in Ghana, we are too free that if we want to be clean, it's going to be much, much difficult. Okay? Well, let me show you this interview that Francis Dazi, he is the executive secretary of the Advertising Association of Ghana. He granted us this interview and said, this clean city thing may not be possible because of something he said. Watch.
My brother, the problems are with our governance system. But I just pray that we will get a minister of state, because that's the only way it works. Or even the president of the republic who says that he wants Accra to be the cleanest city. But I say Accra is the dirtiest and will continue to be the dirtiest cities based on billboard signages and things like that are being allowed to be planted anywhere, anyhow, by anybody.
Basically, what we're saying is that when the government is passionate about doing something, we see it and we feel it. When the government said it was going to build a national cathedral, it was a priority of priorities. When the government said it was going to stabilize the city, we saw the Kenke Fest that heralded the celebration. You understand that the jubilation of stabilizing the city to some point. So we are saying that the totalitarianism thing, yeah, is fine. These days, you can't speak to heads of schools because we are implementing free SHS, and when you're fit, you'll be transferred to Chere. You go and Chere your pony there. You see, so we see where the government's interest is, and we are just asking that cleaner city agenda should be one of them. That's what we're saying. It's just important. We believe it's possible. Let's get it done. If you were not at the music of Ghanaian origin, if you are not there, you need to offer sin offerings to wherever your place of worship is. I mean, it was fantastic. If music keeps the music man alive, then the music of Ghanaian origin Mogo kept the Ghanaian heritage alive. Here are some exciting scenes from Sinner Soul to Kofi B to Bessa Simons and KK Kabobo.
I can't hear you. Obiara can be. Send a woman and I can know some now. Send a woman and I didn't see what women. When I'm
Baby, if you let me, I go die. When you hear Aqua music, I will say, and you're back in our When you hear Aqua music, I will say, and you're back in our Akume Munsem, our Munsem, now yes, yes,
Israel, Kaba Egypt, Kaja Ethiopia, Kaja Ikushima, you know, what he meant on and what they show. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what they show.
Great. For Kofi B, people thought that, well, with your palm wine kind of high life, we're not expecting you to come dressed like you're coming to preach, but his performance was fantastic. KK Kabobo's shoe is something that we think we should recommend to King Promise. Yeah. And the day Adani Bess's dance partner, the Jatabi, will have malaria, we don't know, because look, that Jata is a wonderful dancer, phenomenon by all standards. Akwabwa was amazing. He was just as amazing as anything. His performance was commanding. He took over the place. You missed Mogo. It was fantastic. You don't want to do this again. But there's a young man, they call him Kobla. When Kobla came, he changed the whole place. He took the show personal, like it was his own. He was smiling, he was enjoying it. Wonderful performance by Kobla. But before Kobla though, Kojo Akoto Boating, the MC of the night with Frema Junior, they were wonderful. They were singing. In fact, they sang one of the songs that Kusya Japondin, and then they sang Our Frema. Yeah. So at every time they introduce the artists that come. So when Kobla was going to come, we thought our Frema was going to. Anyway, if you miss Mogo, please don't do that again. It's time. Our time is up. We've got to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching Backpage. My name is Caleb Kuda. There is always more on our YouTube channel, City TV GH, and you can get all our episodes. You can find Backpage on City TV GH. You can find me on Facebook at Caleb Kuda. I forgot. The light is back. That's how we say goodbye to you. Let me save my kerosene. Oh, that is not going. Goodbye. See you same time next week. Bye-bye.